start off by telling you the story of how I came into this. So I just had a couple weeks between jobs and just went like arrowhead hunting, you know. And so I went out and I found a bunch of large granite boulders that were super flat, like varying by millimeters. So I'm an engineer by trade, and so that was kind of perplexing to me. Like, why would there be these giant boulders that are very, very flat? And so I noticed that there were some fire pits and things at the construction site. You know, they scrape off that top layer of ground. And so I found some little fire pits and stuff. I'm like, oh, this is kind of what I'm looking for, you know? Looking for signs of our ancestors, looking for signs of ancient humans in our you know, backyards. Now, I got a lot more than I bargained for when I started finding little bird effigies all over the place. Little tiny rocks shaped like birds. Some of them were full birds, some of them were just bird beaks. And just little tiny ones. They call them pocket effigies, I guess. So they are kind of a known thing. You know, we made these little bird effigies. And we do have ancient sites here in the United States. In Illinois, of course, we have Cahokia, which is a large area in Illinois. That was a big village. And so it's no mystery that we have these artifacts here, but not a lot of people know about them. So what I learned about after finding these small little bird effigies and looking for these normal, just looking at these normal kind of pieces of quartz and then getting them in the right direction and seeing that there were little birds on them, is that they made a complex, multifaceted art style that might just have a bird on the outside of it, but maybe when you turn it on the side or on the edges, it's going to have other images of human beings in it. And these images of human beings repeat over and over again. So there are about 9 or 10 different archetypes. Because luckily I found this stone with this photorealistic picture on it. Otherwise my friends and family would have thought I was just totally crazy to think that people actually created images of humans on stone. But this stone here is what we've been calling the gateway piece, or maybe the first photo album, because it has maybe 200 or 300 faces on it, more than just the one that you can see right there in white. Of course, if you can't see the one in white there, he's pointing to the right with the right side profile. So the way that you look at this art is as if you're looking over the shoulder, like from the back almost. And so it's kind of like a profile image of the side of a face. So I'd love to be able to maybe pass some of these around to you guys so you can kind of take a look at how, I'll pass them to you guys here first so you can take a look how they do look like just normal rocks at first, but once you get it in the right direction, in the right way, it'll pop out and become a bird. So the birds also have types and styles to them, and I have a bunch of them on display there over at my booth that I can show you. So to kind of get back to the story, that's pretty much what happened. I just went out looking for arrowheads, and I got a whole lot more than I bargained for by finding this ancient art. You know, there's not any written word about our ancestors. There's not any photographs or anything, but they did leave behind this lithic art that is actually extremely complicated, multifaceted, and has several different images on it. And it's all learned by maybe 2 or 3 weeks of studying the art. So it doesn't just come out, it doesn't look like Woody Woodpecker or anything that we've ever seen from this world, because it is so old. It's before any of the media or anything that we've ever had or ever seen. So these caches where I find all these artifacts are packed in clay and little clay balls individually and buried into the ground underneath larger pieces of quartz. So they were obviously put there for a purpose, which kind of got me curious before I could recognize any of the art. So that's pretty much my story there. I brought a bunch of very large totems with me today, some 80 and 90 pound totems that look like they should be from Egypt or something. So I'd love for you guys to come and check those out as well. Of course, I couldn't bring all the artifacts up here to show you, but I did bring a couple more. I'll pass around the gateway piece too, so you guys can see this photorealistic picture of a human on a stone there. It took me a couple days to even wrap my head around that.